You can unmute
Recording is on.
you can unmute your mic too as well so that we can know that you are with us. Hello.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good evening, bro Mike. Hope you are good.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Alright, you're welcome. Actually saw the guy that you referred to me. He messaged me this afternoon. So we have spoken together. So I've shared with him everything about the program. So thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to start next month. So today actually we are going to be decoding the data. So and that's what we are here for. And I'm welcoming everybody. You can see Titi Layo is here. Titi Layo, how are you? Hope you are good. Let me share my screen so that we will not waste much of our time. So all right, let me join on my iPad too so that we're able to follow along. All right. Okay. So actually, we are going to look at something very important today, and this webinar actually is here to embrace us and encourage each every one of us um, in a data world and how to navigate through in this career without being having headache and stress. So in the journey, so there are a lot of things that many people desire actually, but you need some certain
Some
information
certain information
that will help you
that will help
to go
you
far and also help you
to go far,
move faster
to
in
help
your
you
journey. So
to move faster
let
in your
me
life.
load this thing.
Hmm, I think I have to.
Sorry, I have to cut. I think my phone is echoing, right? So like what I'm trying to say is that data itself is life. Data is life. Data is everything we are doing. So and anywhere you look at today's data, look front data, look back data, look the middle is data. So but basically we are going to look at how we can decode it. So how we can turn data to and also impact and opportunity that many organizations can be able to see their business through the lens of data, and also they can be able to see a meaningful insight on the numbers they are gathering on the daily basis. So and that's what we are here for. So I'm welcoming us. Okay, I welcome all of us here. I welcome all of us to this amazing webinar. So and the big idea of what we are going to capture today is that data is not scary as many people assume it is. Like we always see data as something that is kind of very complex, something very hard. No, because all of us actually we are data. All human beings are data. Me, you, we, all of us, we are all data. So in the sense that human being is data, so you also relate it to your daily tracking, like you are spending money every day, you are wearing clothes every day, you choose the type of color of clothes you wear, and you also like buying, restocking, all those stuff is part of data. You understand? It's all over everywhere, and it's from the beginning. Data is from the beginning till today, and it's going to be every day till the world gets what's it called, raptured. So or the world ended. So let me put it that way, because data is in existence. When data is in existence, that means the world is still existing. So but when data is not in existence, that means what is not exist. What I'm trying to say is that data is itself is human. So data is everything we do, and data is ecosystems of our world entirely. So it's not scary. So it shouldn't be scary to all of us. So data is a language and it can be learned. So it's a language and it can be learned. So what that means is that is a pattern, is a culture, and is a thing that if you are ready to learn, you can able to what to know how it works. So many people hear the word data and immediately think it is too technical, too hard, or only meant for geniuses. This webinar is designed to change that mindset. So data decoded means we are going to break down data into a simple and practical and usable knowledge anyone can apply it. So on his or daily basis. So why this webinar matters is that the problem statement. So we are going to look at we generate data every day actually, as I was saying before that. But very few people know how to use it. So what that means is that many businesses are struggling to survive. Many people are like lacking behind in their daily activities. Why? Because they are not tracking their sales with data sets. So, but what we are here for is to educate, to train people, and also to let them know the idea behind their data so that they will be able to like value you as a data analysis. So, and if you are still starting your career in data analysis, I'm going to encourage you. This is the right path. So, and it's also a good path for anybody in industry. So basically, I went for interview of recent. Though I do a video I posted on LinkedIn, people have started reaching out to me that how can we do about like now currently many people are wise are like HR people that employ human resources and also CEOs of the industry now, captain of industry. Most of them are wise in the sense that they didn't just want to employ a dummy like someone that doesn't even know what they are doing. They just present CV. So from my own experience, when I got to the interviews, that's when I realized that this 2026 kind of interview is not the way people have been doing it so far. Like the way normally they will get your CV, they will ask you who are you, and what is your course, what do you study, something like that. I was expecting that, but just my for my own surprise, I was like, just wait oh say what waiting for what? Like please wait. So IT is bringing laptop. IT is bringing laptop. What's laptop for? Before I know it, they brought the laptop. The next thing is that, oh yeah, come and work on this, and they set questions for me. Up to I think is 3 questions, but it has sub questions under it. So those questions I have to just crack. I have to crack everything. I'll finish everything within. I think they give me 1 hour that day. I was able to finish everything within 45 minutes and present it to them. So what I'm trying to say is that if you don't have a knowledge, and mind you, everything I did is on Excel. So if I did not have the knowledge and I went for interview, just go and present CV that I have this, I know this on my CV. I may not be able to or to perform that way. What I'm trying to say is that you have to add um practical experience to your CV. I've seen many people put senior data analysis on their CV, but when they got to job, so it's like still on data entry level. Why? Because they have not they are just putting those things, but they have not worked towards it. So as someone that want to kickstart a journey as a data analyst, here is a place for you where you can build your career and also set yourself in the right position to be able to leverage on your on to work in a high ranking. So and also people will be able to honor and respect your your what is it called, your profession, because they could see that you can give them what they want at a specific thought at a specific time being given to you, and you can deliver. So deliver, that's what they pay for now currently in Nigeria. So if you cannot deliver, you can't be paid. So if you cannot give value, you can't be paid. And what I'm trying to say is that you have to learn the language of data. So language of data is when you master the language of that's when you can decode it. So if you don't learn, assuming I did not learn the language of data, when they give me the question, I may just be there ranting till time exhausted. And before I know it, I may lose that job. What I'm trying to say is that if you want to be able to be relevant in this industry, you have to always upskill yourself, learning, keep on learning, and keep on building till you become perfect in your craft. So we want to look at the common myth about data analysis. You must be good at mathematics. So as a data analyst, you must be good at mathematics. Some people used to say that. They will say, before you can become data analyst, you must know math, you must know math, you must know math. How many of us has come across that kind of might? Is a might. Is there anybody here have feel like you have come across that kind of might before? And they will ask you that you must know mathematics before you can do that analysis. So if you haven't, so let me proceed. But actually, I've been seeing many people saying that. But mind you, some people even say that you must know how to code first. Some people say that analysis is only for tech people. So it's not true. So this might stop people from starting, and data analysis is more about thinking clearly. Data analysis is more about what? Thinking clearly. So I want you to know this part, thinking. So when you want to become a professional data analyst that can be able to capable of solving a real life problem, the first skills that you need to have, and is inbuilt skills, something you have to have as a potential, you have to have it in you. So before you can be as like exceptional in this field, you have to know how to think clearly. You have to know how to think clearly and ask the right questions. So asking the right question is the and is and if you are in this kind of um field, you must know how to ask why. Your why is what's going to give answer to many things. So if you don't know how to ask why, like when they give you a project, for instance, now, and to go and work as a data analyst, if you don't know how to ask why, you won't be able to get your answer. You have to ask, and when you ask, that's when it's going to even build your morale in thinking too as well. To think right, okay, I'll get the right answers to the question I asked now. So you now think, what can I do to solve this problem? You get. So after you ask the question, I will have documented your questions. So that's when you are going to think, oh, what can I do to solve this? So when you now started thinking, that's when the inspiration will be able to come, which is the next one, and understanding patterns. So that's when the understanding will come. You now understand the patterns. So then two will come after understanding. So that's when you can now say, oh, this is the best tool I can use to tackle this problem. So that's when you can now determine, okay, let me use Excel, let me use Power BI, let me use SQL, let me use Python, let me use Tableau, let me use Databricks, let me use Fabric. Anyone you want to. That's when the tools now comes in. But you can see in the ma- in the mind of this process, you can see that two is the last. So the first thing you need to master, the skills that you have to be in you as a data analyst. First of all, you have to know how to ask the right questions. So it's the second, but I'll put it first. So after you ask the right question, then you have to know how to think clearly. Thinking clearly is very important. You have to think clearly. So when you can think clearly, you are good to go. And then the next thing after you think, you understand the patterns, how things work. So in asking questions, that's where you can meet the your head of department, how the market last year perform. So compared to this year, so that's what we call year growth measure in data analysis, where you can measure last year revenue, this year revenue, last year profit, this year profit, and see the trends, how the market drop, how the market grow, how their profit margin is declining or is increasing. So those are the things you have to ask for, and that's what we normally call KPIs. which is your key performance indicator that's going to indicate the trends about your data set. And with your KPI, which is your key performance indicator, you can quickly cite an insight about how companies performing and what you can do next to make it more progress in their revenue, in their profit. In so that's when the insights come and decision making and recommendation comes in. So you have to ask the right question, you have to think clearly, you have to understand pattern, and the last one, tools. So now you cannot talk about Excel, you cannot talk about Power BI, you cannot talk about I've stated all of them before. So what I'm trying to say is that you have to know how to do this. So basically, let's look at the what does it mean to decode data. I want to tell you this because it's very important aspect. So decoding data means understanding. Decoding data means understanding your data. Then the next one is interpreting. So and the third one, which is communicating. So data decoding means taking data, I mean raw numbers, and turning them into meaning. So like you have seen a raw data before, like a raw information, and maybe you went to Cargo, for instance, go and download the raw data from Cargo, pull it, or you went to go and pull a data from website. Do you know that's what we call data pipeline? So that's what we call pipeline in data analysis. So and pipeline, it consists of two things, but I'm going to put it in abbreviation. You will have been hearing it before. It's called ETL. ETL. So E stands for extract, while T stands for transform, while L stands for load. So that's what we call data pipeline. So in the sense that you have to go to your website to extract your data. After you extract your data, that means you pull it out. So after you pull it out, then you clean it, you clean it, you after you clean it, then you're now able to load it into your Excel. So this knowledge is very important. So it's not data analysis is not about dashboard alone. You have to have knowledge on pipeline, data pipeline, which is your ETL. So it's very important. Some people, out of your works as a data analysis, so 70% of it is based on the pipeline, data pipeline. So when you extract your data, when you load it, when you clean it, so transform it, then dashboard will be easier for you. You can spend 30% that remain to build your dashboard. Even within a second, you can build your dashboard. So what I'm trying to say is that you have to understand this basic, and also as a data analyst, let me give you this key. You have to have a domain knowledge. Do I've shared this in the group before, but for those people that are not in the group, you have to have domain knowledge. Domain knowledge means this one is beyond just a dashboard. It's all about everything about your company. So the company you want to work with, you have to have their domain knowledge. You have to know what they are into. You have to know what they are producing. You have to know what their what's it called, mission, visions, and what they are targeting is all about. So what their goals and objective is all about. So these are the domain knowledge, and you have to be able to master it very well. You have to be able to master it very well, because it's a key important things that you need to know as a data analysis. Are we together? So this domain knowledge, I break it down in the group that if you are talking about Microsoft today, most of us think that is all about um, Microsoft Excel 365, but they are working in the ecosystem. The sense that they are there focusing more on how the ecosystem work. In the sense that when you guys are buying their products, what they are basically what they are basically into is to connect to the customers, to provide something that can solve their problem, so their daily problem. So and many people, if you check everywhere, you will see that many people are making use of their product day and night, and they not tired of using it, because they have mastered the craft of connecting with the people. So when they talk about Apple, most people think Apple sell phone, but the real story behind their data gan is Apple sell ecosystem. So iPhone attract the user. So if you see iPhone, you will say, I love iPhone. Many people will say, I love iPhone, I love iPhone. Why? Because the camera, because of the camera, because of the way it is, because people actually like they have prioritized that phone as if something that is, that's what we call ecosystem. Oh. They have make it look so good that if you hear iPhone like this, like it's the big people that are using it. So the App Store that keep them is also part of the things people are buying. And iCloud, Apple Music, and their service, everything they are doing. Apple Music is also part of the most tangible things about iPhone and the iCloud. So these are their services. These are the things they are selling, and these are services that is generating recurring revenue that you are seeing every day. It's not about the Apple or the phone. It's not about the phone. It's not about the phone. It's about the iCloud. It's about the Apple Music, and their services. So all those things is what give them the revenue they are generating. So their power, even though is I think Apple power most powerful things that they have is the hardware. So and the customer always lock in, even for the lifetime value that they are providing for them, they can lock in there because of what they are doing. So what I'm trying to say is that you have to understand the domain knowledge. You have to have domain knowledge about the businesses, and this will help you. So that's where understanding comes in, and interpreting. So and also communication. What I'm talking about the communication, that means you have to be able to present your work. When you finish your analysis, bro, the presentation, which is communication that I'm talking about, is part of your dashboard, which is storytelling. Dashboard is storytelling. If you build your dashboard finish, your dashboard should have say, out of 70% of your words, what you want to present, should have say 70%, or out of 100%. Let me put it that way. Out of 100%, so that's what should have communicate 70% by itself. So what you need to just do there, just like show them the chart. So you don't need to go there again and started from the beginning, started explaining, okay, this is how I got this are no. That's what we call storytelling. So that's why you have your dashboard should be visual appealing. When people see it with one glance, they should be able to understand what it's trying to say. So it's very important. That's part of communication getting to as well. So and we also look at the data thinking mindset. So number one, you have to ask why before how. So what does that mean? You have to ask why before how. So this was happened. If you look at this, I think I shared something on LinkedIn and it went viral. People are commenting that um that how Joseph used data to change the economies of Egypt. So I was able to break down the context about behind that story. So before Excel exists, before Power BI exists, before SQL exists, someone has used data to turn over the ecosystem of a country, which his name is Joseph. Why? Because he able to understand why, and also you know how to go about the data. So it's not just about it's not just about the information that he got. And I've been if you read Bible very well, you see this in the contents of the word of God. God always come in parable. Even for the Nebuchadnezzar the king too, he come in parable to him to show him that 7 years going to be mad. He's going to become a mad person that is going to be walking in the bush and going to leave a throne. So until Daniel, which is a data analysis of his own time. So these people are data analysis. But when you are reading your Bible, you think, so it has been in existence. But what I understand about God is that he usually use people that know how to analyze data. You usually use them to change the ecosystem, to turn over the country, to turn over the system of a industry, of a nations. Why? Because when you understand data, you can unlock many things. You can, assuming Joseph is not there then in Egypt and was able to interpret the vision of the king, the dream of the king, and was able to give a predictive insight and recommendation that okay, this is what we're going to do: seven farming and seven multitude of food and all. So what you are going to do is that during the farming you have to store food. Go and start before the farming, I mean, started store food. After you store food in the warehouse, so when the farming come, we'll be using that one to what? To supply each people, if everybody in the land. So and when the farming was able to finish, so the food we were able to now have a store warehouse that people will be able to what? To access food anyhow they want. Why meanwhile, even with that thing, with that method that Joseph give them, after they store the food still remain after the farming finish, and many people are blessed. Even till now, Egypt did not lack because of that procedure that Joseph give them. Till now, food is surplus in Egypt more than any country ever in the world. Why? Because someone was able to predict and also give a recommendation based on the insights that he derived from data. So what I'm trying to say is that you have to know why, and you have to know how to focus on insight. So not just tools, not just Excel, not just knowing Power BI. So you have to know how to go about things. So simplicity beats complexity. So from my experience teaching data analysis, the most dangerous analyst is not the one who can code, but it is the one who doesn't think. Strong data analyst think critical before touching any tools. You understand? So before you touch any, you have to think critical. So now let's proceed before because of our time. So core data concept. So I want to explain core data concept. So data is a raw fact. So like normally we know that data is a raw information that are not being processed. You understand? As your own life too, it's a raw information that has not been processed until you think, until you think. That's when you are going to start unlocking some things in you. Today I was a novice, so I met one guy. The guy sat down in front of my meeting. So he sat down and he was observing things. I think he was looking, just focus on something, looking at, and I asked him that, what are you thinking about? The guy said that he was just thinking. Then I encourage and embrace what he did. That I love people that used to think. I love people that just focus. That they don't want distraction, just focus. Then he now started listening to what I'm trying to say. So and I started break down things for him. That when you can be able to be lonely, think about things for long, no matter how you find solution. Many people that transform the ecosystem, even in tech today, they are thinkers. They are not just ordinary person. They think, and that's what better all those ideas we are seeing by Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, and many great people. Why? Because they know how to think deeply, not just doing anything anyhow. So as a data analyst, sometimes you may get raw data, let's say for a Kaggle or Google data. So when you download it, sometimes you will see a lot of messy things. At times I may sit down on my laptop staring with data for more than 30 minutes at times. So when I'm seeing, but artificial intelligence, which is AI, has already made things easier. So now you don't need to waste much time. So we are still going back to that one too because it's a future. AI is a future. So as a data analyst, it has been involved. You have to involve in AI because that will help you to be relevant in years to come. But those people that AI is not going to replace in this industry is those people that can think, not those people that know how to use Excel, not the people that know how to use Power BI, not the people that know how to use SQL. So, but those people that can think, that's what my own class is based on. If I train you, I will teach you the concept behind data, and I will also let you think because all my assignments. If I give you, I will let you go and practicalize what you did in class. It's fully practical. It's not the one that will be reading notes or theory. I will giving you notes. Okay, we are read this. We are read this. We are have this book. No, it's all about you being practical, raw with data set. So, and you will go by yourself, download it yourself in the class. You will see how being processed, how to clean it. You will clean yourself. You will be the one to even think, point at something. Okay, this one is not okay. What can we do? So That's the power of thing, because I give my students ability think, look at it. What can you do with this? When you get this by yourself personally, how can you transform it from this raw information to meaningful insight? And that's how data analysis has to be. Because if you cannot think, you cannot able to tackle question and successfully, because you just be copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, and eventually that cannot take you far. And also it cannot even give you any place in this future I'm looking at currently. So you have to be able to think, and how to what manipulate through, how to go through the process. Eh? And that's what data is. Like I told you, data concept is raw fact, information. So you have to organize data. So then the next thing is insight, which is meaningful understanding, then decision. These are the core data concepts. Number one, data. When you get data, then the next thing you have to what? Organize data. The next thing you have to find a meaningful understanding your data. That's insight. So when you get the meaningful understanding of your data, then the next one is decision. So you now take actions. Then action taken from that insight. So and then the last one, which is explanation. Data only become valuable when it influence the decision. If no action changes after analysis, then the analysis is a failure on its own. Because if there's no decision being taken out of that fancy dashboard you build, if there's no decision being taken out of that the things you did, so definitely is a waste. Yesterday I'm training my student in USA, and I was telling him that this dashboard you built, it can work for 10 years to come. So he said, how? I tell him that this is storytelling, and it's very solid information that I hear. So when you look at the dashboard, you can see that it predicts 1 or 2 3 years to come. And when you go back to it, let's say in the next 5 years, when you go back to it, you can still see that the insight is still connect to the next 5 years to come. Why? Because the information there is not just a number. It's based on how business works. It's based on how the organization perform in their, and when the performance is poor, or you will know from your data. When the performance is good, you will know from your data. If it's positive and negative, you will know from your data, because data can speak. I usually say this: data can speak when you give the data mouth. Yes, when you give him mouth, he's going to speak. And how can you give data mouth? Through thinking, through thoroughly sitting down, find insight. So you'll be able to get answer from it. He's going to speak to you directly. He has mouth. And the language of data is solution. The language of data is what? Solution. So those people that think they always find solution. That's why Elon Musk always like producing from one thing, from Tesla to Moto, from Moto to X. Produce is the one that own the X. Even though in the industry now is the one that is leading. Why? Because he will be able to think, and also think through data. He defines what people want, and he navigate through them. Because human being are data. If you look at the X now, how many people are there? Thousands of people are there, and daily you are buying data and connecting to what? To X. You are loading your data. That's data for you. So as you are joining those platforms, those platforms, you are generating data, and that data is cumulated together to generate money. What you call money. So now let's look at the tools that matter and why you have to master them. Number one is Excel. You have to know how to use Excel if you are talking about tool now. So foundational and logic building, that's what Excel is for. So if you want to start your career, I will personally advise you to start learning from Excel when we're talking about tool. So then the next one is SQL. So you learn how to use SQL to ask questions from databases. So what SQL is, SQL fully means structural query languages. So, and structural query languages, we use this to communicate with our database. Let's say you want to chat like with your friend now. So that's how SQL is. And SQL is, the full meaning of it is English. Like you are speaking English, and your English must be structured very well. Let me break it down so that you understand what SQL means. Structural query language. That means you are structuring your grammar, not error. If you write wrong grammar, it's going to run and it's going to return error for you. But you have to understand how to write a correct sentence. When you write a correct sentence, it's going to return a right answer for you. But normally it's a programming language and also it's a code too as well. But we used to ask questions from our database as I put it here. So we also have Power BI and Tableau. Power BI is for storytelling. So and visualization. We want to build a dashboard. Power BI is good for that. And also Tableau is for storytelling. So that's what we call storytelling. So some people will see dashboard. I'm like, okay, so what is storytelling? Storytelling is dashboard. Is all those charts you are building. When you see charts, trends, when you see line chart, bar chart, donut chart, when you see map, when you see a ribbon chart, anyone at all, so is storytelling. Is storytelling. That's storytelling. So and also we have Python. We use Python for automation and advanced analysis. So tools are important, but they are vehicle. So know this. It's very important you know this part. Tools are important, but they are vehicle, not the destination. The master the basic before chasing advanced tools. Destination gangan is when you use the tools to communicate. Destination is when you turn data to a meaningful information and the business can come here, or the CEO of a company can come there and pick from that insight you build and use it to what to make a decision on his organization or his business, and the decision they make transform the business or move business forward. So that's when you now finish your job as a data analysis. So do well to master one tools or two tools or three tools. If you can know Excel, you are liable to get job anywhere. If you know just Excel, you are able to get job anywhere. And also if you now know Power BI, so you have a multiple opportunity. So if you now get to SQL, don't worry. So there are higher chance for you to get remote job anywhere, and also you are able to get work even staying at your home indoor, and you can be working for many industry. So one of my students enrolled for the training and is working in USA. He come to meet me that day. I said I want to go into enroll for and he make a payment. That very night he want to go and do a SQL interview. And mind you, I did the class for him. I break everything he has to, like they can ask him on SQL interview. So I send him the notes. I was able to do that class, do the tutorial from the scratch. What I'm trying to say, after we finish the class, I think we started 10 p.m. and we finished 1 a.m. the middle of the night. So we went to go and rest. The next day we went for the interview. I'm telling you, in God presence, that this guy got the job. And when he snapped the place where he's working and share with me, I say, wow, just only SQL and just 1 day class. He went forth and he got his best and what's it called? Fish because he said that he has been looking for that kind of opportunity for long. But in just one class, he was able to get that job, and they are paying him in dollar money, better money. So what I'm trying to say is that if you know a right person to connect with, and you're able to join, especially this training, what it entails is just to teach you on how to do with real life data set, work with real life data set, and also get a meaningful insight from a real life data set raw. If you are going to download them raw and you are going to work with them and turn them to meaningful information. So I highly recommend you, if you want to kickstart your journey, to join this training. So it's going to be a lot of opportunity for you, and it's going to expose you to a lot of things that you need to know. So and also we have a real world impact of data analysis. So business increase, example, business increase profit, HR team reduce employee attrition, market understanding customer behavior, so through data. So data analysis is already shaping decision around us. Those who understand it become valuable where they go. So like you too, if you want to even achieve your purpose on earth, for instance, so you have to know your craft, you have to know who you are. So and that also hidden in data skills. So if you know data, there are a lot of things that will be happen to you. So when I started my journey, I think that was around 2022. is full of a lot of confusion, and me too, I don't even know my left hand from the right hand. But now today I was able to, at least, even if I'm not here yet, I'm not there yet, but I'm doing well with life. So what I'm trying to say is that if you're able to master this craft, there are a lot of things that you are going to what to enjoy. There are a lot of opportunity that you are going to what to get, and there are a lot of things that you are going to what to be able to expose to, and you can walk into any industry with confidence without panicking. So what I'm trying to say is that it's very great skills. Like data analysis already shaping the industry, as I was saying, it's currently shaping everywhere. So common beginner mistake that people are doing, learning tools without understanding the concept. So copying dashboard without purpose. You can see many people, they will go to YouTube, they will go and be copying dashboard from, they will be copying as how the person is building, they will be building it too. So that cannot help you. You have to learn the concept, and that's what this class is all about. You will learn the basic foundation on how to go about. So, and most of you that have been seeing my project, you will not see it anywhere. I've been saying it because all my students, Michael is here among us. Michael, are you still here? Are you still here? So I think he's already left, right?
Sorry, I'm with you. I'm with
All right.
you. Well
So
done, boss.
you can give us some tips, because I've shared with, I have shared it when you join us. It's not January. Join the training on January, and within within
Yeah, don't worry.
within 2 weeks, I think you can even share a tip with us. Just give us some tips. I'd like you to say something. So how's the
Okay.
experience?
Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, the experience is really nice. So before I joined the training, I had basic knowledge on Excel, but taking to the training from like mid-January to like now, I can boldly say that I can handle Excel to an advanced level to an extent. I'm still learning, but then as at now, I've moved from where I was in January and to be better and to be able to use Excel better now. Thank you.
Exactly. You are welcome, bro. So he's a nurse and also is into healthcare analysis. So what I'm trying to say is that when you're able to join the training, there are a lot of things that you are going to be exposed to, a lot of things that you're going to be doing. So before it's seen as there as it's just an ordinary spreadsheet, but now you can see it from other standpoints, that you can use it to transform data from raw information to meaningful information that people can see and make a decision through. So if your dashboard needs a long explanation, it has already failed. See this one. So good data visualization speak for themselves. So I want you to just know this. So if your dashboard needs long explanation, it has already failed. So you will see some posts. Actually, when I went to, I was seeing some posts here and there on LinkedIn, even on X. So many people, sometimes they will measure their revenue. They will not put naira there. They will not put maybe dollar or currency. So they just measure anything and put value, just numbers. I'll be looking at the number. Is it this one? Is it a revenue, or is it a unit sold, or is it a, because it's not comprehensive. So, and those are the tips you have to master. So if you are building a chart now, you want to set a date, you now put your date, now you now turn it upside down. Those are the wrong things that many people did not know. Some concepts you have to master. And if you join the trade, you are going to see all those things. How to tell a right story with your chart, not just building a chart, not just building a KPIs, but setting is something that people will see and able to understand without you explaining it. So just in a glance like this, they will open, okay, this is a revenue, okay, $20 million, okay, 50 naira, okay. So they were able to get it without you explaining. So, and those are the things you have to, and some people, when they are building dashboard, they will now leave a grind lines. So at the background of their chart, you'll be seeing some grind lines at the background, up and down. That one will now write on it. So charts will not be able to visible to the user, and also the metrics, the data label, that one will not be on. So those are the keys, those are the things you will be able to do to tell a right story. When they see your dashboard, they will have understand without you talking. So, and also My simple data framework is to ask the right question, understanding data, analyze with purpose, and visualize clearly. So, and communicate the insight. So, and also core and career business opportunity in data. We have a data analysis, business intelligence analysis or BI. So we have operation analysis, we have healthcare analysis, data driven entrepreneur, and many more. Data skill open doors across industry. You don't need to acquire your current part. You can enhance it with what? With data. So while learning data from me, I will do practical teaching for you. So beginner friendly, you will understand the concept from the beginning. So and also you are going to work with the real project, real tools, focus on thinking, not just memorizing formulas and functions. So you are going to focus more on thinking and the explanation. My goal is not to just teach tools, but to build a confidence and clarity in how you approach what your data. So this is what we after about our students, so that they can be able to confident to present their data without being panicking. So data is a skill anyone can learn. So that is the key takeaway I'm giving all of us here today, that data is a skill anyone can learn, not just say maybe I have to get a degree. No, you don't need to get a degree before you learn data set. So thinking matters more than tools, insight is more valuable than charts, and start simple, grow consistently. Thank you so much. So I'm going to stop here today. So and if anybody have any questions, we have 4 minutes to do that, I think. So I was trying to rush so that we're able to finish without 1 hour that we put, so that should not be wasting too much time. So is anybody have any questions? If you have any question, you can just raise up your hands and let us know. So anybody with a question, question. Do you have any question? No question.
No question from me.
Whiteboard, do you have any question? Whiteboard, do you have any question? Have any question? So we are going to stop here today, and I was able to, I think, in a little time we spent together, we were able to learn one or two things. I thank you for everyone that joined us. Michael, thank you for joining us, and Whiteboard, thank you for joining us, and Ojo City
You're
Lion,
welcome. Oh. Good
thank
luck.
you for joining us. God bless you. God bless you. Cheers. So we are going to have another one. So part time, our webinar used to come once in a while. So just make sure you join us to learn and also to gain more insight based on how to navigate around. Do well in your field. So thank you so much. God bless every one of us. We can't see your slide. Someone is saying we cannot see my slide. Oh, so is it been a long time? You cannot see my slide before? Sorry, I didn't check the chat box. So you cannot see the task the slide since, right? Hello? Or the person just send a message. All right, so I will share the slide with you guys, so don't worry. I will send it to the group chat so that you can go through it, and if there's any question you need, so you can reach out to me. I'm in that group too as well. My phone number is there. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye. Have a nice and wonderful night dream. Thank you so much. Bye. Bye. Mr. Michael, have a nice dream. Titi Layo, have a nice dream.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye.